There we go. Damn it, we were on such a good streak too.
Well, not everything lasts. Alas. Our sinking did not last, but we're sinking in periods.
Are we?
I don't know.
Is it your time of the month?
I feel like it's your time of the month because you just fell down the stairs twice.
I don't know if that's like related to like our periods being synced up, but yeah, I did fall down the stairs on 2 separate occasions today in less than an hour.
And I was trying to make Nick feel better. I was like, well, no, it's like your shoes. And then he was like, no, but it wasn't icy. No, but it was inside. And I was like, well, then, bitch, I guess you're a clumsy as fuck.
No, for reference, so my train station, I walked to the train, obviously because I had to meet Miss Peru to record today. And as I was walking down the steps inside of the station, so mind you, like it's not icy, it's heated in there. Like there's nothing for me to slip on. Sure enough, I slip and fall down the stairs in front of a bunch of people, and this woman was like, "Are you okay?" And like I was wearing my over-the-ear headphones, and they were like noise canceling, and I didn't really hear her. And then I was like walking past her, she like grabbed my arm, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And then I just like gave her a thumbs up, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine.
What a good Samaritan.
And then get out the station at Peru's stop. I walk up the stairs. Again, we're on the lower level inside of the station, so like, I have to walk up one flight of stairs, and then I have to go walk a little ways to get to the stairs that lead to outside. So again, not icy, not whatever. I slip and fall up the stairs. And the shoes that I was wearing, I've been wearing nonstop since I got them. Like I really have had no issues with them. I don't know what's going on with me or what's going on with my body, but like my legs are just like giving out on me. It's just like,
it's the curse of 25.
I'm getting older. That's what it is. My legs are giving out on me. And speaking of getting older.
Oh my God. Well, I'm Pioneer Peru.
I'm Trailblazer Nick, and this is Pioneers and Trailblazers. I'm on my first week of finasteride. Today is the full week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Everyone that I've been telling that I've like started finasteride, they're like, "Why? You have so much hair."
You know, toast to that. Toast to finasteride.
For protecting the girls from losing their hair.
Protecting the girls.
Thank you.
Sponsor us.
Yeah, Big Pharma, please.
Big Pharma, please.
We would love. No. And it's been good. I like literally, I know it's a placebo because it takes a couple of weeks for you like to really to kind of notice any sort of like inklings of it working, but
yo, girl, I'm a placebo.
No, but as soon as I took the first one, the next day I was like, I've never felt so hot and sexy and gorgeous in my life. I'm so beautiful. Like I have a full head of hair. Everything is perfect. God is so good. And then I like mentioned that to somebody at work who also takes finasteride, and they're like, yeah, you know, it doesn't start working for like a while, right? And I was like, I know.
It's
just
okay.
let me live.
It's in your mind. It's all in your mind.
It's in my mind, and it also makes me feel really good whenever I tell people that I'm on it, and they're like, "Why? Like, are you even losing hair?" I'm like, "Oh, thank God, no one can tell."
Well, yeah, you just wanna tell people you're on meds.
Yeah, I'm medicated.
Yeah, it's the narcissism in us. But like, I remember when I was on like anxiety and depression medication, like I would find a way to tell people that I was on meds. I would be like, "Yeah, it must be whatever." They're like, "What do you mean?" I'd be like, it's no big deal. I was like Jenna Maroney. You just be like, well, if you really must know.
If you, yeah, no. That's how I feel. I have to let everybody know that I'm on Propecia. And here we are.
Wait, I am off meds now. I cold turkeyed depression meds and anxiety meds because they were getting rid of my libido. And so I was like, would
I rather be depressed and anxious?
I was like, thoughts of suicide, of thoughts of dick. And I was like,
I want to keep the ones of dick.
I want to keep the ones of dick.
Because honestly, dick is keeping you from killing yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, hey, don't be triggered. Hi, everyone say hi to Miss Clover.
Clover,
don't be triggered. Because I actually found that like, I reached a place where I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like I'm pretty good. Like I just want to feel like my sex drive back. I just want to feel, you know, and then it ended up working for me. I am not a doctor. To anyone who's on medication listening to this, stay on your meds or do whatever is best for you.
With you and your medical
provider.
Yeah,
yes.
that you have discussed together.
Yes, please.
You know, listen to them.
I am just saying that was my journey and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, it is a snowy day here in New York City, which is hence my Bradley Cooper-esque beanie, except his was Louis, mine's Mew Mew.
Did you see that? Did you see that news article that Rob Lowe texted Bradley Cooper by mistake after the Golden Globes and said, "Congratulations on your win," thinking he was texting Robert Downey Jr.
Cringe.
No, literally, the text was like, "You're so deserving," like whatever, blah blah blah. And then immediately he was like, "Oh, I had to text him." I was like, "I made a mistake. I texted the wrong person."
Did Bradley even respond?
I didn't read the full article. I just read the part where it said what the text was, and like it was sent to Bradley. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Everyone's out to get Bradley." Like the universe really just is like, "You want that award, babe?
So
Guess what?
bad.
You're not gonna get
Yeah,
it."
this is another year he's not gonna get it.
But you know what award he could get?
Hottest bitch.
This pussy.
Bradley, if you're watching, hi.
He's not.
I know you're a fan of the pod. Let me tell you who is a fan of me actually. Before we get into town halls, while you were falling down the stairs multiple times, Clover. I know. I'm gonna tell the story of your daddy being very successful. I know.
Sweetie, if you don't keep it together, you're gonna have to be
You're
removed.
gonna have to leave, exactly.
You're gonna have to leave.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anyway, so I was talking to my roommate Joanna, Joe, and because we had to get our sink fixed, it was leaking, and so I had to wake up early to let the maintenance person come in and like whatever fix. And so we were just catching up, and she goes like, "Yes, I went going on a few dates with somebody. Have I told you this?" And I was like, "Tell me what?" She was like, "Well, I went on a date with this guy, like a third date or something, and then we were talking about like people that live with us and like what we like to do." And she was like, "I like to go to comedy shows. As a matter of fact, like my roommate is a comedian. His name is Peru." And then he was like, "Oh, really? Because I love to go to comedy shows." And she goes like, "Yeah, he does. Like I've been seeing his show on Popular Opinions or whatever." And he goes like, "Wait, Peru?" And she's like, "Yeah, why?" Turns out he's a fan of Peru, has been to 3 of my Unpopular Opinion shows.
Girl, that date is gay as fuck. Girl, you're going on a date with a gay man.
No, which is actually actually that's a really good point to bring up, because I feel like our Pioneers and Trailblazers audiences are primarily, like Gen Z girlies, dollies who are queer for the most part. My Unpopular Opinion audiences were, I think, if I'm gonna be generous, 30% queer and like 70% straight, 80% white.
Well, that we know. That's the people you're reaching out to.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm reaching out. Hey,
you're
listen,
marketing to them.
Listen, and mind you, my lineups are always diverse, always queer representation,
Right,
and BIPOC representation.
of
Don't
course.
do your facetious, of course. Okay, you got people right now listening. You got people like who are listening right now.
No, and I'm.
Oh no, it's actually sure. Now it's of course.
Of course.
So anyway, Nick's. This is not a lie.
So I know I've been to majority of the show, almost all of them.
Yeah, and so I represent. But either way, I was very satisfied to know that my name in New York City just keeps rising and rising.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
No one deserves it more.
But anyway, I have a big update to tell you via town hall. But I want you to tell. What do you have your town hall ready?
Well, that story I was gonna tell you yesterday, I could just tell today.
Yeah, I want you to tell me.
But you want to tell it? Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so yesterday, I've never told this story before, which is like crazy, and I'm like, oh, it's like actually really vulnerable of me. So yesterday I hung out with my friend, a friend of mine who I've known for a couple of years now, and he lives in the city now. But at the time when I met him, God, where do I begin? So he and I, it was my senior year of college, which was August of 2020.
What brought up this story, by the way? Do you remember what we were talking about? That you were like, oh.
I think I just told you that I like hung out with him, and you were like, which friend is this? And I was like, the one that I flew across the country to see.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm
so
back.
buckle up, because it is a kind of a long story.
Literally buckle up, because there's traveling involved in this.
Traveling. This is probably the most spontaneous thing I've ever done in my entire life. But I was August of 2020. I had just gotten back to the city after the pandemic. I was in my dorm because I was an RA at the time, and everyone was required to quarantine for 2 weeks when you arrived. So I was living in a dorm that was right on Washington Square Park, and I was on Grindr because, girl, obviously. And all of a sudden, this account hits me up. this guy is like in Washington Square Park, and he had seen my TikToks before, and he was like, "Oh my god, like I'm such a fan, like I think you're so funny." And I was like, "Oh my god, like thank you so much." We hit it off, we're chatting and stuff, and he's like, "Do you want to hang out?" And I was like, "Oh bitch, I'm in quarantine, I cannot leave. Like I like if I leave this building, I will get shot on sight." Like not even kidding, they took that shit so seriously, rightfully so.
All the pots and pans are gonna be fucking aimed
No,
at
they're
your
throwing
ass.
they're
Like-
throwing them out the window at me. And so then I was like, "I'm so sorry that I like whatever, I like can't hang out." Anyway, he was like, "Oh, it's like my last night in New York or whatever," and I was like, "Oh, then like, well, I'm sure we'll see each other again." So we kept in touch. We follow each other on Instagram. We exchanged Snapchats and phone numbers and stuff. It was just like very friendly. And then we got to the point where we were like, he like went back to Michigan, which was where he was going to school. And then we were like messaging and texting each other and then FaceTiming each other like every other day. Just
He
to, like,
was your
talk.
age?
Yeah, he's my age. He's
Wow,
25.
surprising.
And so like we were just like, we just like really hit it off. And like I developed a little bit of a crush on him because I was just like, he is really into, like he seems to be very into me and like talking to me. Obviously it was never like wasn't very overtly flirtatious or whatever. I read into a lot of it, and
No.
which is what I normally do. But then so we were talking for months on end and whatever, and I was like, I really like this person. Like he was talking about maybe moving to New York because he was about to graduate too, and he was like, I'm gonna try to work in business or whatever.
Oh, business was his degree?
He was a finance major, or he like he went to the business school or whatever, and so he was doing that at the time. And so I was like, oh, so he gonna be making money. I was like, okay, let me try to lock that shit down. And so then I obviously never like we just kept it very friendly. And so then March of that year, so we met in August, and then March, which was like months later, I just so happened to have like the way that my RA schedule worked was we lost 2 RAs when the rest in peace. They didn't die. They just they quit. They quit. They just didn't want to do it. But so because the building had less workers in it than they had like a normal year, we had to like make up a bunch of shifts or like fill in those like empty like work shifts as an RA or whatever. So like night shifts and things where you would have to be excuse me, on duty, which means that 1, you can't leave the building overnight. You have to stay in the building the whole time. If there's ever an issue, they call the duty phone, which is like you're the one who holds it. So if there's ever an issue in the building, you're the first responder to it.
Dang.
They can call you at any time of the night.
Is this paid?
You get free housing and free food, and that's it. That is all you get. But because I was broke as fuck, and I was like, there's no way for me, because also the whole first semester was online. So I was like, if I were to come back to New York, I would have to have free housing and free food. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for me to like fly all the way back here.
Yeah.
And like, because whatever, it was just like a waste of money. So thankfully it all worked out that I got the job or whatever. Hated the job. Would never. So glad I only did it 1 year because it's like literally you're asked so much is asked of you anyway. So
Yeah, and also you're kind of an adult. It's like to have that amount of
Well, and the thing-
responsibility on
no,
somebody
and-
like you. I would just be like, I just want to jerk off and fucking go to
and
bed.
the thing is like that at the time I think they have kind of reorganized or reformatted how the job is now after the year I left.
Yeah.
But I had the year prior, I had a friend who was an RA who worked in a building, and like you are the first responder to any sort of thing. So like there would be times where people would be like trigger warning, but like people who would be like suicidal or like or having like really kind of like big episodes and things that are like mental health related, and they would have to be the person to like be the first one there and like try to calm these people down or like deal with this traumatizing thing before any sort of like adult official medical professional were to show up. So
that's wild.
And then so many people would like have something traumatic kind of like that happen to them, and then they would be like, I can't do this job anymore, I have to leave. Because first of all, you're not getting paid for it, you're not being trained properly in how to deal with these kinds of situations. Anyway, it's a horrible job. Don't do it unless you're desperate for like free housing and free food like I was. Then like if that's something you can deal with, like deal with it. But like anyway, so I would have to work all the weekends. Like I never had a full weekend to myself. I would have class Monday through Friday, and then I would work the weekends because I got fucked over in the scheduling. And
so you were like, Michigan's starting to sound good.
No. Well, and then the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, I happened to have that whole weekend off, and then I was like, I have 2 whole days off, and then I think I had like a half day before or something, or like I only had classes until like the early afternoon, and I didn't have anything else in later in the evening. I can't remember exactly what it was, how that worked out, but I had like a long weekend, which I never had before. And I was talking to my friend who lives in Michigan, and we were FaceTiming or whatever, and he jokingly was like, well, why don't you just buy a ticket to Michigan? He's like, just get Spirit Airline. He's like, you can come, you can stay with me, spend the weekend, we can hang out or whatever, and then you can like go back and whatnot. And I was like, am I gonna do that? And then I like asked my roommate, who's like one of my best friends, and I was like, is this crazy? And she was like, this might be the sign from the universe that you need, girl. Like, maybe you should do it. And I looked at my my transit charts for astrology, and one of them was like, you're gonna be doing some traveling. And I was like, okay, let me look at the Spirit Airlines right now. And then they were really.
He didn't offer to like split the ticket with you.
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
And then we looked at the prices. The prices were cheap, and I was
well,
like,
it was Spirit, so you probably had to like add on the seatbelt, add on the.
And I had never flown Spirit before, but I had heard the stories, and so I was like, you know what? Let me do it. I bought the ticket, and I was like, I did it, and he was like, oh my god, like so excited. Like we were like, and that was like a week before I left. This was like a week before it was supposed to happen.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this.
March.
Yeah. Didn't tell like my parents. Didn't tell like anybody. I was just like, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna go see what happens and then come back. So.
And you hadn't met him yet.
Oh, I had never met him in person.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, in that sense, it is kind of bold because you don't know who the person's gonna be. You're gonna be meeting. You have no idea what's happening with this person.
But like,
okay, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you had been talking, just as a way to like you're establishing a connection. You're chatting. You're like kind of reading into like maybe some like flirty and like cute. Was it sexual at any point?
We would talk about sex a lot.
But so when you originally talked, was it like, hey, horny, traded albums kind of thing? Or like you guys would just actually striking conversation?
Just strike up conversation.
And then just like casually talking about like sexy times.
Yeah, and
so you never even saw the dick?
Never saw the dick.
Girl, you would not get me on a plane without seeing the dick!
No, but here's the thing, I didn't know.
Girl, there's no Spirit.
No, but I wasn't going into it thinking I was gonna get dicked out. I was thinking going into it, I'm like, my soulmate. I was like, this is gonna happen. But mind you, up until then, when we would FaceTime, he would tell me about you were
FaceTiming?
We would FaceTime all the time.
Okay, so then you actually did see his face.
Yeah, so we would FaceTime like honestly every other day for like honestly over an hour or two whenever we would chat. And like
girl.
And so but the thing is that at the time when we were FaceTiming, he would tell me about like his fuck buddies that he had or whatever. And so anytime he would mention them, it would be like like I was getting stabbed a little bit, even though I would talk about the people that I was fucking too.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh, like I don't know if I like that. But then I was like, you know what? It's just because like we're not in the same place, and like you know what I mean. And I was like trying to rationalize everything.
Can I tell you what really quickly? Because it's just reminded me of something while I was doing over the pandemic too. Because 2020 was like we were all horned up and like just
and lonely. We were all lonely.
I remember I did during that summer of 2020. And we weren't even supposed to like be having sex or like going out. That summer I was like, because I was also in Houston, Texas, which obviously, as we all know, wasn't fully shut down by that summer. It was fully open. But
was it? I didn't know.
Oh, go! You know this. Of course, Miss Abbott was just like everything is open by the summer.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, the patios were open. Everything was open. I was being the progressive in this. Well, I was in like a very progressive area of Houston, like in the center of town called Montrose. If you're from Houston, listening, shout out to Houston. Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you lived in Montrose or in the River Oaks area where. But anyway, so I was having sex. And I felt so bad. I was like, "Oh my god, when I get COVID, I'm gonna get dick COVID."
No. When I got released from from quarantine or whatever, and we were like allowed to go to and from places and whatnot, and like have basically kind of like a normal like schedule. I was going on hookups. I know I shouldn't have, but I was.
No, but
I was doing it.
We were getting that.
I was getting tested for COVID every fucking week.
COVID dick teen. Title of F, like COVID-19, COVID dick teen.
Okay, there is something there.
Yeah, COVID dick teen.
I'll let you have it.
But I still have in my camera, which is recording this very podcast right now, I still have a screen recording of one of my FaceTime like hookup sessions.
You FaceTime recorded it?
Yeah, because I was like, it was one of the last times I kind of wanted to talk to him because he was kind of like. He was kind of weird. He was, and I'll show it to you. He had the yes. Oh no, I can't show it to you because I'm literally in it.
You're literally, and I don't. Unfortunately,
maybe I'll cover it.
Yesterday, Peru was showing me like his messages.
Don't talk about that.
He was showing me his messages that he was having with someone from Grindr.
No, I
No, he handed me the phone. He
I said do not scroll up.
no, he said don't scroll up. But
why
you didn't
would
say
you?
scroll
Why
down.
would- why
you
would
didn't
you,
say.
Mama?
You
But why
didn't-
would you?
You didn't say scroll down.
But why would you?
I didn't. I
Nosy
did.
ass
He showed me.
bitch.
He showed me the man's album so I could see the face pictures to see because he's like, would you fuck this guy? And I was like, well, let me look at his photos. So I'm going through the face photos and whatever, and I was like, huh. And then I exit out of the album because I'm like, is there more? And then I kind of go down, and immediately under the album is an ass photo from Peru, and I like immediately as soon as I saw it, like a little bit of skin, I like screamed and I handed the phone back, and I was like, I don't want it anymore.
Nick had like a physical reaction. He was like,
I was like, I don't need to see you like that.
if anyone wants to visualize it, slide into my DMs.
No, it was
If you-
honestly. I mean,
it was
it was a nice photo. Like
I told you I do production value. It was actually a photo I took while I was in DC a couple of months ago because I was staying in a really fancy hotel.
Oh, I was gonna ask because I was like, that did not look like your apartment.
No, it wasn't. It's this really fancy bathroom that I was staying in DC, and I had this like huge, really fancy mirror by
were
in the
squatting.
restroom.
You were like,
and
oh,
I
yeah,
was
you were
like
on your
squatting,
knees.
and I had my baseball cap, and I was like looking back, and I was looking so good, so fish, and I was like, oh my god. So if you want to slide into my DMs, flirt with me, send me a cute, dick pic, face pic, and maybe you'll get it. Maybe you'll get that photo.
So okay.
Okay, well, I guess to wrap up that, what I was saying is, like, I was also engaging in just, like, FaceTimes with people during COVID.
Mhm.
And, like, this one guy, like, I remember we were doing a lot. It was, like, like 14 minutes of just... So I can't imagine... Were you doing any of that at all?
No.
That never came about when you were talking to him? And
No.
you never saw his...
No, I mean, sometimes he would joke about it. He would like make jokes about it, and then I couldn't tell. I didn't know if he was like being serious or was just being jokey. Because sometimes like I have friends that are like flirtatious with me, but
Girl,
like
let's not get to that.
But it is just.
Girl.
But it is just friendly, and so like the line is very like I don't know. The line is it's hard for me to.
I got plenty of lines right now, too.
Yeah, but anyway, and also the reason I didn't tell anybody I was going to Michigan was also because COVID, and so like one of the things was
Oh,
like,
my God. I didn't even think of that. So you're literally getting on the plane.
no, I was getting because if you were leaving for spring, because it coincided with spring break. That's what it was. It was St.
So
Patrick's
this is
Day.
2021.
Yes, so it coincided with our spring break, St. Patrick's Day, and so like we had the whole week off, but then I only had 3 days off from working my RA shift, and so if you left for if you left to go anywhere for spring break, you had to notify.
You had to quarantine when you came
Back,
back, no?
and you had to notify like the school and everything, and so I unfortunately, bad of me, yes, please burn me at the stake, did not do that because I was like, it was so impromptu, and like the cutoff to like request to like be able to leave and stuff, whatever was passed, and then also the program leader for like my acting program that I was in was like, hey, like please everyone like try to like stay in the city, and I was like, I have to chase this. I like, you have no idea, like this is my future, like I'm sorry, the heart wants what it wants, like I have to do this. And so then I just didn't tell anybody, and I only took a backpack, so when I like left the building, it just looked like I was leaving to go like the library or something, and then I came back, it was like the exact same thing.
You went to the library for 2 days.
No, but then like the security guard wouldn't know because it's like
No, of course. You just yeah. And I mean, you probably didn't like bring a huge suitcase with you. You probably brought,
no, I literally just brought the backpack because you can't bring anything on Spirit. You like literally can't bring a suitcase. You have to pay for it. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going for 2 days. I literally I was there for 2 nights. So I think I went on a Friday. I left so early in the morning. He picks me up. He like got like a little like rental car thing, and he
got a rental car. He didn't have a car.
It was a zip car for those who know what that is.
Yeah, but he didn't have a car.
No, he doesn't have a car. So he picked me up. He picked me up from the airport. As soon as he picked me up, I was like, oh my God, like it was like such a weird feeling because I was like, I feel like I've known you my whole life in like a weird way. And I was like, and we sat in the car, and he was like, this is so weird. And he's like, and I was like, me too.
Did you kiss?
No.
Nick,
girl,
oh my God, but your stories make me so frustrated.
Yeah, girl, and you're gonna continue to be frustrated because listen to this shit. So then he picks me up. We go back to his apartment, and
you're like, hello, shake hands.
No, it was much more casual than that because again, like we know each other fairly well because we FaceTimed all the time. So then he takes me back to his apartment. I meet his roommate who I've met on FaceTime before, whatever. God. It was like it was a lovely place. He had class, and then he also like online, and he also had like his internship that he had to do, but he was going to be done by like early afternoon. So he wraps up, he finishes, and then he takes me around Ann Arbor to just kind of like show me around and whatever.
Yeah, what's Michigan known for? I don't know.
The school? Or like just in general?
Well, where in Michigan? What city is this?
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor, yeah.
That's where the University of Michigan is.
Is that the only thing Michigan's known for?
No, Detroit is like not that far.
Oh, Detroit. Gotcha.
You know,
gotcha,
and so
gotcha.
like, so this is, oh, and Detroit comes into play. So basically, so
Oh,
he shows me
Lord.
around Ann Arbor, and then we were like figuring out what we want to do that evening, just to like, we were gonna go get dinner, and then we were gonna figure out like what our plans were, and then one of his former fuck buddies hits him up while I'm at his apartment with him and was like, "What are you doing tonight?" And he was like, "Oh, my friend Nick is here." He was like, "We're."
Friend.
I know, and immediately he said friend, and I was like,
Ah.
but also when I first like met him, I was like, I couldn't tell. I was like, is he like flirty? Is this like romantic, or is this just friendly? Like I literally could not tell. It was like very confusing to me because it was all over the place, the energy. And so then he was like, oh well, like do you guys, all three of you, want to hang out? Like all three of us want to hang out. Like his
What?
fuck buddy asked, and they weren't fuck buddies anymore. Like he had like cut things off with him because like this guy I guess wanted to like date him, and he was like, I'm not interested in you in that way. And he had
So
told
then
me,
he was a friend, I guess.
yeah, they're just like trying to be friends now, even though I guess the former fuck buddy still had feelings from him, because then Ryan was like, well, would you want to like all like hang out, maybe like go bowling or something together? And I was like,
bowling. Oh
and-
my god, y'all! I really am holding
no,
on to.
and I was like, oh, sure, I guess. Sure enough, we go get dinner. We then meet this man at this like kind of barcade situation type thing.
Okay, better than just bowling.
No,
I was cringing.
Well, the bowling was a separate place. That was the second location.
wow.
So we met up and
Multiple
we
locations.
met at this like arcade place. As soon as we get there, this fucking twink is sizing me up. He's like looking me up and down and like giving me kind of like side eye and stuff. And I was like, oh girl, like what's going on? And they have like tension because I guess like when they ended their friends with benefits situation, it didn't end very positively. So I'm like, why are you wanting to hang out with each other if like it didn't end well? Anyway, it was really confusing to me. But then there was tension, and then I think the twink was jealous of me, even
Well,
though like,
of course he was.
and so then
you're like coming from the big city, and you're like there, and also like where did you come from? Like you're just I doubt that he knew even that you have been talking for like whatever.
Sure.
So like
and so then we played pool, and then the whole
Ugh.
time it was just like kind of awkward, and then we went. But it was like fun or whatever. I was like trying to be like, no, this is like so cool. This is so fun. Like, whatever. I'm having a good time. We then go to the bowling. We do our bowling. Again, the tension is just like so bizarre and strange because like the twink is like clearly upset about the situation and is like,
yeah, but he was the one that brought it up.
right. But he,
I'm bulldogging already.
no, but the twink, I think just thought like maybe, I don't know. I think he was just like jealous and like upset and whatever and like still had feelings and they were, you know, it
Yeah,
was
then
fresh.
don't fucking then say no.
No, well, he's the one who invited himself out. So then, anyway, we finish bowling, and then we go back to my friend's apartment.
With him?
No, we part ways after bowling.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, my friend was like, wasn't that so weird? And I was like, yeah, I was just gonna say like seemed like there was so much tension between the two of you. And then we talked about that for a while.
You're like having like a moment in the zip car.
No, well, no, we just walked back to his apartment. 'Cause
Okay.
It was close. And then, so then we call it a night, go to sleep. The next morning, we like wake up early. We like go around, do like some like nature-y things in like the area, get lunch, whatever, have fun. And then we make plans with his current fuck buddy who
Girl.
lives in Detroit to go like hang out with his fuck buddy and all of his roommates for like the evening or whatever. And then,
So he only has fuck buddies. Like he doesn't have.
those were kind of like all of his friends at the time were people that he had like had sex with and then became friends with them.
Well, I
which
guess that's every gay friendship.
a lot of gay friends are like that.
Besides ours, I guess.
No, mine are like, I can't do that because I will fall in love. And so he was like, is that cool? And I was like, sure. He seemed like really excited to like introduce me to them because I guess he had talked about me so much with them, and he was like they're all so excited to meet you. And I was like, okay. So we go to Detroit. It's like I don't know how long the drive was, maybe like 30 minutes. We get to Detroit. We get
so close.
Yeah, it wasn't that far. And so then we get to I had to fly out at 5 a.m. the next day, mind you. So then we get to the apartment. They all welcome me in. They're all so lovely, whatever. They're all really into smoking weed, which I, at the time, was only doing it like in the evenings. And I was like, the stuff that we got from our dealers.
Your addiction hadn't started.
The addiction,
yet.
no, the addiction hadn't gotten full blown.
Full blown.
Yeah. And so then they were like, do you want to, started smoking a joint and started passing it around. And so I sat in a chair, and then my friend and his fuck buddy sit on the couch together, and they're like leaning on each other like this.
And you're just like across the fucking room.
I'm across the fucking room in a chair sitting alone, and then they pass me the joint. I take a hit of it. It goes around the circle again. It comes back to me. I take another hit. It goes back around, and then they offer it to me a third time, and I go, oh, I'm good. Thank God I didn't take a third hit, because those two hits hit me so hard I had a panic attack in the room in front of all of these people. Now, mind you, none of them picked up on it because I...
I'm sorry, otherwise that's so funny.
No,
you're like literally having a panic attack and everyone was like, hey.
No, and I'm literally like sitting because it's so overwhelming because I'd never been that high before, and I'm sitting in this room in a city I have never been in before
with people that you hardly know.
With people I do not know.
You do not know.
With the one person who is like my kind of buffer between these people,
who's busy fucking canoodling.
He's canoodling, and also like I barely know him to begin with.
Of course.
And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like. In my chair, and they're all like high and they're all whatever because they're all stoners and stuff, and so like they're just like sitting like having fun. They're like trying to ask me questions, and I'm like yeah, okay, and I felt so like I went like when I get really high like that, I nonverbal and I just like don't interact. And so then they're like, okay, we're all hungry, let's all go like get food. And so we all pack into this tiny ass car, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my god,
where's Miss Michigan?
She's in the car with us.
Yeah, but is he checking up on you, being like, hey, you good? Like,
no, he honestly was a little bit. He did later, but he was like canoodling with this guy because from that moment I could tell that he really liked him. I was like, oh, he's acting so different towards this man than he is towards me.
Or that he was even with the other one too, so like he clearly has a favor.
I know, and I was like, clearly he likes him in the way that I want him to like me. And I was like, oh, so
I'm sure that added on to the panic attack.
100%. So I was sitting there and I was like, oh, so everything's becoming very clear to me. I'm high out of my mind. We're all in the back of this tiny ass car.
Michigan.
I'm in Michigan, mind you. And I'm in the back seat, and how the back seat is so it's so the fuck buddy, he is a gay twin brother who was lovely. We're
okay, on board.
Okay. No,
so
okay.
you're in Michigan having a panic attack in the zip car.
No, so I'm having a panic attack in the zip car.
That's really the title of the episode. So you're in Michigan having a panic attack in the zip car.
And so having a panic attack in the zip. Well, it wasn't a zip car because it was their personal. It was like their car. But
well, that's the joke. You know what? Fuck it. Back to COVID-19.
Whatever. COVID-19. So we're in the back of this car, and it's the gay brother, and then the lovely little like queer like roommate that they had. She was lovely. I can't remember for the life of me her name. I'm gonna.
It's okay. I mean, they're not. I mean, do you think?
No, I'm still friends with
Michigan.
I got coffee with Michigan yesterday.
Oh my god! I'm having a panic attack. I'm just connecting the dots. That is Michigan. Watch out.
What? No, okay, it's fine, but just listen. So then his fuck buddy, I'm also friends with now.
Nick.
No, it's all good. Everything's good. I mean, I'll get into it. Just give me a second. So I'm in the back of this car, and so the seating arrangement is...
Everyone's also on the edge of their seats.
Seating arrangement is front of the car driving, gay brother. To the passenger seat, lesbian,
queer.
Like fag hag. And then we have... and in the back, it's me on the left, Michigan in the middle, and then fuck buddy on the right. So we're driving to wherever place it is we're going to go get food. I have no idea.
Where's the twin brother?
So, fuck buddy, his twin brother is driving.
Oh, gotcha.
So then
I want to see pics.
I'll show you.
Okay.
We all follow each other on Instagram. We're all good. This is like, there's no drama, there's no beef, there's no nothing. But like, it is just like a crazy story. And so then we're sitting in the back of this car, and as we're driving, again, I'm high to my mind, highest I've ever been in my entire life. And I look over to my right, and I just see little Miss Fuck Buddy like tracing her fingers across like Michigan's back and like around the shoulder, and it's like so flirty. And I'm just like, and I'm high, and I'm staring at it like dead blank stare like this, just like. And then I like catch myself, and I'll just snap myself out of it. And also, I was wearing a face mask the whole time because I was like
oh my god!
Because I was
I'm having a stroke.
Because I was also like, anytime we left like the apartment or we would like be in public, I put on a face mask because I was like, well, I did leave school without telling anybody, and I do want to like protect like my classmates. I don't want to get COVID or spread it to other people. Because
you were the only one, weren't you?
Yeah, I was the only one. In the car, I was the only person wearing the mask.
Oh, of course.
And so then we get to the food place. It was like a restaurant. It was like a sit down place, and because it was COVID, everything was outside. So we were sitting outside. It was kind of cold, whatever. As they're coming around, and like I don't have money. Like all right. I mean, like I wasn't planning on spending a bunch of money at like a sit down restaurant that evening. Like I only like budgeted a certain amount because I thought we were gonna be going to like fast food places and like whatever.
Which we've talked about off pod. We're curbing. We'll let you guys know about the journey.
Yeah. We're on a health journey. But then anyway, so they're going around. The waitress is like, "What would you like to eat?" I I can't even like form words in my mouth, and I was like, I just point to something that's on the menu, and she was like, okay.
The enchiladas.
she could tell, and so then we eat.
I'm sure she saw the group. Imagine being the server, be like,
oh, here we go.
Here we go. Got the stoners.
I mean, we didn't. Everyone, I think, got like a margarita or something. So I was drinking, and then I was like, I need it. And so then at one point in the middle of like near the tail end of us like having dinner or whatever, Michigan like taps me on the leg and he's like, "Is everything okay? Like, is everything good?" And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. He's like, I just wanted to check in just like to see, because again, I was not engaging with anyone. I did not say anything unless someone said something to me.
Yeah,
like it was like a direct question. And
come
like,
on, social context clues, being like, I'm gonna go check Nick, who flew in on Spirit to come see me.
So then we finish that. We go back to the twins and lesbians apartment, and we're like all checking it out or whatever. And then they're like, oh, let's watch a movie. We end up watching Carol. Which I had never seen before.
You cannot write this thing.
And
what time was this, by the way? Because this all sounds like it started in the evening.
We got to like their apartment at like early afternoon, I would say.
Like 3 p.m. 4.
Yeah, and then we had like an early dinner. It was like 5 o'clock or something that we like all got food.
So now it's like what, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. to watch Carol?
Yeah, it was like dark outside, and it was evening, and so we're watching Carol the whole time. Again, they're like Michigan and Fuck Buddy are like kind of like I'm sitting on the couch with them, and they're like being kind of like touchy or whatever.
That's, I mean,
and the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, I want to be home so bad.
Yeah, because I mean, in any regular situation, if that had been in, like, say in New York, you probably would have been like, I'm gonna head home. You know, you probably would have left.
Oh, I would have. Yeah,
you know?
But I literally was like, I have to wait until fucking 5 a.m. when the Spirit Airlines flight, you know, I can board it to leave. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my god. And then the movie finishes. I remember texting a couple of my friends being like, I miss you all so much. I'm so grateful to have you all in my life. I can't wait to return home to see you. Yay. I was like, and again, I'm still high. Off those two hits of that joint, I am still high. I wish I could get that high again. That was crazy. Like,
did you ever ask what strand it was?
Well, because weed at the time it is still, but it was legal in Michigan. It was legal before it was in New York, so it was legal in Michigan. So they had dispensaries and stuff. So they bought. I found this out after the fact. They like buy like weed that has such high THC content in it. I think it was like maybe, I can't remember what the percentage was. I think it was like 35%. Oh. And like I had never smoked something with that much before because I'm so used to getting it at that point from like our little dealer who like will come drop it off at our door, and it's like, you know, it's not as good quality from like a dispensary, so I wasn't used to it. So I was still fucking high. We finished the movie, and then the girls who live in the apartment below them were like, you guys should all come over and hang out. So then we all go downstairs to these girls' apartment, who I again don't know them, and we're sitting and whatever, and they're all like, who's this? And I was like, hi, I'm Nick. Again, like disengaged the whole time. No, I had the mask off at that point. Okay. The mask was off. The mask was off in the building. But I was just like sitting there and whatever, and it was just it was fascinating. It was a fascinating character study to like see all these different kinds of people. But the whole time I was like,
because you're also building his real world. You're like, okay, these are the people that he hangs out with. This is
100%. It was just really, it was fascinating and very like eye opening. And then the night ends. We don't leave until like, maybe it was an hour to drive to Detroit. I think it was a little bit longer than a half an hour, because then we left kind of late, and then he was like, oh, let's drive back to my apartment, because he's like, Nick has to fly out early. So then we bid our farewells, say goodbye, whatever. We end up going back to the car, and then as we're walking to the car, he was like, is everything okay? Like, you didn't talk that much. And then I had to be like, girl, I'm so fucking high. Like, and he was like, oh my god, I had no idea. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, glad that I was like, but everyone thought that I was like, I didn't like them. Yeah. And like, I didn't want to like be there, which I mean was like kind of true that I didn't want to be there, but I liked all of them. I was like, I like all of these people. Like, they seem very cool. Like, it would be fun to hang out with them in a different context.
Yeah, but I guess, you know, like, you're young and you don't really know like social context clues. But if you're hosting, because this is, you know what, if you're young, this is what you would be called, and I am young too, first and foremost.
Right, let's not forget.
I am the youngest person here in this town, but. When you're doing this, just know this and learn from etiquette school from Peru's etiquette school. Anytime someone's visiting you, specifically, more so if they're staying with you, you are the host. You are hosting this person. You have to be aware how this person's doing. So if you ever host somebody, please check in on your friend. Like, make sure that like. you know, don't let this thing happen where like you literally went to like 5 million locations, you're noticing the person's not talking, and then like at the very end of the night it's like, well, you didn't talk at all. So you gotta be a good host.
But I do
you
remember
know?
he did check in a couple of times, but I think like I was so
You were so highly, yeah, but I mean, I think
I was just like, I'm good.
and,
Like, don't worry about it.
and he probably he doesn't know you as well either. Let's
Well,
be
no, it was like our
honest.
first time,
So,
like-
yeah, so he's just like, I guess he's just maybe like socially awkward or whatever. But
No,
like,
and
you know,
that
like,
and that made me so stressed out afterwards. I'm like, oh my god, everyone thinks I hated them. I was like, oh my god, and I was like,
Yeah.
no, not at all. And then we ended up he drove me back to his apartment. We didn't sleep at all. Like we stayed up all night just because like by the time we got back to his apartment it was so late. And then it's like to get to the airport we had to go back basically to Detroit, like whatever. And so then we stayed up super late. I was so exhausted. He drove me that morning. I think he dropped me off at like 4:30 or something that morning.
which is, I mean, that's good. You know, like,
No, yeah, I know.
that's-
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
he
of
was
course.
honestly an excellent host. I really I mean
Aside from being young and not catching on to social clues, but in that sense, it's like, you know, whatever you learn, you know, you're like, okay, you know, maybe my friend's not like feeling their best.
Sure. And then we
But-
like said bye or whatever, and then I like left and I was like, okay, it was so lovely to see you. And he's like, I still can't believe that like this happened. And I was like, yeah, me too. Oh, but here's the thing. So in the car ride from their apartment back to his apartment before like at the end of the night
I'm gonna
before
scream.
we were talking, and I was like, you know what, let me poke the bear a little bit.
I'm gonna scream.
And
I'm gonna scream.
I said, it seemed like you two were like really like close. Like, what's going on there? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, didn't look like nothing to me, Mama. I was like, it looks like you both like really like each other. And he was
You're
like,
like, if anything, I've been watching a lot.
no, I was like, I was hyper focused on it, Mama. And he was like, yeah, like, he's like, yeah, I like him. Like, it's like, he's fun to hang out with, but you know, like, I'm going to graduate and he like is going to stay here. And like, I don't plan on staying in Michigan. Like, I'm going to, cause he's originally from LA, and he was like, I'm, you know, either going to go back to California or I'm going to go to New York. Cause like, that's where like the business that I want to be is. And I was like, okay. And I was like, but you know, like, it seems like you two really like each other. Like, why are you so like resistant to like exploring anything with that? And he was like, yeah, I just don't see anything happening with it. And so then that whole time I was like, is he trying to like be like, oh, like it's not serious, to be like, hey, I'm into you,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
not
okay.
what he was doing.
Of course, as we all know, that's not what
That was me reading into it because, again,
That's what you
crazy.
do.
And so then what I realized about myself is I read into everything, and I
And
think
we
everyone's
love
in
that
love,
about you.
and I think everyone's in love with me. It turns out they're not. And then he was just trying to like, I think I've learned from yesterday, because he is in a new situation, a romantic situation now, and he was like, he's really into it, and he was like telling me about it, and he was like, yeah, but I just don't know about it because like I don't want to get my hopes up. And I was like, girl, you do this every fucking time. Like, you're always just like, no, like you just like let yourself enjoy things. But anyway,
Yeah, of course.
so then that happened, and then he dropped me off, and then I went back to New York. But then he like messaged me like when I was on the plane, and he was like, oh my god, like he was like, I don't know what happened, but I was just like so overwhelmed like when you left that like I like started crying. He was like, I think I'm gonna miss you a lot. He's like, I had like a really nice time with you. And I was like, that's really sweet. I was like, I had a nice time with you too. And I was like, at least we're good friends. Anyway, he started dating that guy. They were in a relationship for like 2 years. And he like told me that summer, like they made it official that summer, and like he told me about it.
When January
And I literally was like, oh, I called that. Like, I knew that was going to happen because I could literally see it happening in front of me with my own 2 eyes. And he was trying to be like, oh, that's nothing. And I was like, what do you mean it's not nothing? I'm literally watching you two act like you're together in front of me.
You flew to Michigan to watch somebody you're interested in fall in love with somebody else.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that, my life is so fun. I think my life is really cool. Because then that happened, and then I mean we're still friends. We still talk all the time, and like
You famously talked to him yesterday.
No, literally,
in
'cause he was-
person.
yeah.
How's he doing?
He's doing well. I mean, after
How's
that,
he looking?
him and his ex, they have now broken up. They broke up like a year ago, but they have come when they were together. They came to visit New York on 2 separate occasions, and I hung out with them because like, because his ex like was really liked me, really liked talking to me, like really hanging out, and he's lovely. He's such a sweet guy. Like they're both like, there was no issues or like there was no like hard feelings. It's just like it was just all the wrong timing, and like obviously like, and I also realized like when I was on that trip that I was not. There are things about my friend that I'm like, oh, in a long-term like partnership, like I would not want that in a partner kind of thing. And so that was also really helpful to be like, oh, I had like, what's the word? I like again read into things or like projected my an idea of like who he was onto him without actually like being around him and
Of
his
course.
friends and things. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, I do really like you as a person. I don't like you in that way either. So it was very like illuminating. But as soon as that realization happened, I was like, I want to go home. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. But his ex, they're lovely. We still follow each other on Instagram. Like,
Wait, he lives here now?
he moved here last. Oh God, he stayed with me. So he like interviewed for the job that he has currently. He like flew. I think this was like back in like the spring of last year, so almost a year ago. He was like, hey, like I'm coming to like to take this test. He had to take a test to get his real estate license, and he was like, could I stay with you? And I was like, of course. So he stayed with me in my apartment, spent the night. He now lives literally 2 blocks away from you.
Oh.
No, literally. We talked about it yesterday. And
Okay. All right, I want to see pics.
yeah, no. And so then no, he's great. We're still friends. Like it's lovely.
Watch us get married.
No, I unfortunately he
Oh.
just met a new guy that he like is really interested in and really likes.
we love.
Yeah, he's like
love-
really happy. But so I'm
love
happy for them.
that.
I'm happy for them and I'm happy for him. But I've just like that. I've never told that story before because I think I was so like traumatized by it for like the longest time, and also because I was just like, girl, how do I make that funny? Like what? Like
What do you mean? This is a funny story.
well,
Because
now
the
it
story
is. At the time, I didn't think it was funny. At the time, I was like, this is emotionally devastating. I was
Yeah.
like, again, because it's like I flew halfway across the country to meet a man I had never met before just because I like thought there was something there, only for him to fall in love with literally somebody else in front of me. Like that is crazy.
But Nick, let me tell you, out of all the stories you've told me and said on this podcast, that really is the most adventurous thing you've done.
No, it was the most spontaneous thing I've ever done in my entire life.
And I think
And I
we need to get back to that.
No, we do. Well, and at the time, I was just like, I think it's just because I don't know. There's just like something in the air, and I was like, love is in the air, and it
Listen.
wasn't. It wasn't in the air.
It wasn't in the air, but just like the idea of love was in the air.
But that's how I am. Like, if that were to be presented to me like
Today?
like yeah, if it was like a similar situation, like
I would do it.
yeah,
I've done it.
I probably would do it. I probably would like. It depends on the situation for sure. But if I really liked the person, I would do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm a romantic.
Yeah. Well,
That was a long story.
no. What a story. That's great. That's great. But I mean, fuck it. We could do another extra large
can do a long
episode.
one.
Hi, townspeople. Do you guys want to do another XL episode? Because I was going to give
Well, it
you...
doesn't matter what you think because we're going to.
Because we're going to. Because I didn't tell you... I told you, like, you know, what my town hall idea was going to be. And, like, I want to tell you now in just, like, a few sentences. Because now I was inspired to tell another story that I've never told before.
Okay.
And so... my town hall originally was going to be just a quick update because, as everyone famously knows from last podcast, I had a little bit of a situation.
She had a mudslide.
It wasn't a mudslide, okay? It was more just like a, you know, a little.
Flint, Michigan water.
No, that would be worse. It was just, you know, like a little like drip, you know. Like when you get an ice cream cone and it starts dripping on the side a little bit and you're like, oh. Anyway, so I was going to give an update.
A chocolate ice cream cone though, girl. That shit dark.
But from the day that we recorded the podcast, which was last Thursday, I didn't have sex since Monday, and I famously said I was gonna get, you know, like a B guy to get my confidence back up.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to tell me this.
Well, I mean, and I'm gonna tell you a different story, but I guess just to get it out in the open, thank you to all the townspeople that have been concerned. I did not get sent any flowers or messages of hope. I did get sent quite a few DMs and texts from friends who listen to the podcast and strangers alike being like, you need to marry that guy. Where is that guy? You need to get back with that guy right now. You need to everyone's the takeaway from everyone in that story was that guy was my Prince Charming, basically.
No, that is your future husband.
It wasn't even like, oh my God, Prue, you know, yes, you know, courage, bravery. No, it was like, if you don't end up with that guy, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, what? Why is he getting all the credit for just being a decent human being?
You were getting those DMs. I got a text from a friend that I had sex with like over a year ago to be like, hey, I think I was the last one that you did that to. Yeah. And I said, I'm sorry, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, just listen to the pod, you know, accident. And I was like, Oh my god! First of all, don't remember ever pooping on him.
Which I guess you did.
And then second of all, I was like, oh, I must have blocked that out of my memory. And he's like, honestly, it wasn't that memorable to begin with. And then I was like, you're probably right. But shout out to you, Expo. Shout out.
Shout out. Keep sending us messages. They're really encouraging for us. But anyway, so I did have sex again since that, faded Monday, and it was Tuesday. So it took me 8 days to get back on track, but I finally did. It was somebody from my building, somebody I had previously had sex before, and they had the time of their life.
Did you? Did you?
It was fine.
But how did you know he had the time of his life?
Because I could tell.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, they're saying the things, and they're just like being like, wow. And he was actually, when we were finished, he like actually lay down in my bed for like an extra 15 minutes and just wanted to cuddle with me, which I like, but like I also wasn't expecting that. I was just like, this was just like a wham bam thank you ma'am. Like I wasn't, if it was someone that I was interested in, it would be really cute. But then at one point I was just like, okay, I gotta get up early, and he was just like laying there, like putting his like leg around my fucking, I was like, what's happening? Like, get out of here. But anyway, so I did it, and everything went fine. So I'm back on my A game, everyone. So I have some updates from this weekend. So because I'm back, thank you, clap, clap, clap. No accidents. Back on a good track. I'm gonna tell you though, because your story reminded me of just like flying to see somebody and like having a memorable few days. Did I ever tell you about the story of when I was dating one of the like few long relationships I've ever had? His name was Dan, and I can say it because there's plenty of Dans. And by the way, I have a track record with Dans. I don't know what it is about the name Dan, but every Dan that I've dated or encountered with has been an experience. And if the next person that I like end up falling in love with or like end up connecting with, if their name is Dan, I'm gonna be like, okay, I gotta do a background check on you, because I don't know what's happening with Dan's or Daniels, but they're tainted in my book.
Okay.
Did I tell you about the time that he flew me into Cleveland after doing a tour of my show, and I spent like 3 days in the hospital?
No. What? What?
Okay. Buckle your seatbelts unless you're flying Spirit, which means you don't have one. But I'm
That's a good one, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good.
I mean, dang, we're already almost an hour. Like, and this is gonna be like a kind of longish story too.
Okay.
Are you down for it?
What if I was like, no?
You're like, actually.
I was like, actually, let's cut right now.
Wait, pass me the wine. I'm gonna refill us.
Okay.
Wait, refill us. Okay, so I'm gonna set.
Girl, am I gonna make it to the gym today? Probably not.
Probably not. Whatever. Fuck. It's snowing. It's Friday.
But I wanted to look good for the parties I have tonight.
Yeah, but then just just liquid courage. Liquid courage. Anyway, okay. People always like message being like, it seems like I'm just like listening to my friends chat, and it's like, great.
Yeah, we're just having a little.
Oh God. Oh my God. Nick dies. Picture it.
Oh, we're picturing.
I was back in New York City from doing a national tour as a lead. Equity.
What show?
The Kite Runner.
Oh, right. It's about to go on tour again.
I know. Famously not in it. But it's okay.
Audition.
No. Well, the thing is, like, which is actually really good, because when I got cast, they were still casting like quote unquote ethnically ambiguous people for roles.
So you made the cut.
So I made the cut, but then when it went on Broadway, they obviously and rightfully so decided to cast Middle Eastern and Middle Eastern descent people on the roles, which makes perfect sense.
They're like, we can't have a white woman on stage.
We can have a white woman, and me as the most famous white woman in the world, I was like, I'll pass on playing Young Amir.
They're like, we want you so bad, and you're like, actually, no, I can't.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, please, my ethics, my morals.
Your morals, of course, because you famously have.
Of course. And so I had to come back to New York, and at that time during the tour, I had an incredible love affair with this man. Met him in Cleveland, Ohio, which is one of the stops of the tour. He at that time, well, I mean, still at this time, but like at that time, we had like a 9-year difference, and so I was like, oh my God, like, oh my God, like, like
he's older.
And
so how old were you for the show? 13?
I was 13. Yeah, I was 13 because okay. Young Amir in the book was, I think, 11, 12, and I was a couple years older for that role.
Sure.
Yeah. And so he wasn't.
No one Googled when did the Kite Runner go on tour.
But also, like, no, he was not doing any illegal activity. Okay, let's just put that on the record. He wasn't dating an underage person. Okay.
No, but it was a joke. I think they figured that out.
Whatever. You know what, townspeople? We're girlies now, but also, I'm young. Anyway,
At heart.
fuck you. Anyway, so I'm back in New York, and it was so funny because like I was stopping by Cleveland as like a working actor, and he was finishing his master's. So
in what?
In an MFA.
Oh, a master. Okay,
Yeah.
fine arts.
Fine arts. And so it was so funny because like at one point part of like the curriculum of like us being in Cleveland was that we had to do like a talk to all the MFA students at their university.
Oh, okay.
And I was part of the cast. I was like, and I was literally just like, well, just follow your dreams. Meanwhile, like all these like 30-year-olds are just like, okay, bitch.
They're like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
that's what we're
mama.
doing, you fucking mama. And I was like, I never went to college.
And they're like, we can know.
because I was fresh off of high school. Anyway.
Right.
So, which is true. But anyway, so met together, had a love affair while we were, for those 4 weeks, like we just really fell in love, and then we just were inseparable. We like started dating, did long distance. We couldn't get enough. It was actually one of the most.
Wait, I'm gonna need to see pics.
Of course. And I was just in love. And he was in love with me. He was texting me all the time. I was like, "You're the most beautiful."
Wow, must be nice.
Yeah, I
must
know.
be nice to have that shit reciprocated.
Thank you. It's okay. Well, we just wait.
Oh, God.
And so then I was back in New York City. And so then, of course, we were so in love. And like, I was such a baby that he was like, babe, I missed you so much. Like, I really want you to come. I had already flown into Cleveland for Christmas. And it was the most gorgeous white Christmas, literally, and snow ice that I ever experienced. We were in Akron, Ohio, and it was his parents had like a big like lakeside like house, and like the lake was frozen, snow was pouring. It was Christmas.
Did
like,
you ice fish?
Oh, no ice fishing.
Oh, okay.
No ice fishing.
I was like gonna be like, okay, I guess.
No, but it was so funny because like we stayed in his like childhood bedroom, and like,
twin bed.
He had it was like a big bed. It was a queen. It was a queen water bed, and the decor of his room was
Right,
it was safari.
So, I guess he's like 9 years older. So I was like,
Of course, yeah, he was a kid.
I was like, old as fuck having a water bed.
Oh no, he was a kid.
No, but at the times when water beds were popular,
Oh,
you'd
yeah,
have
of
that was a
course.
long time ago.
I know, yeah, I wouldn't know. And so I'd already spent Christmas there with like his like family of 20 people, because white people, they love doing Christmases, and well, actually Latin people too, with like 1 million family members. So I've never done that, so I was like, oh my god, I'm the only brown person here. Yes. So then it's February, it's Valentine's time, and then he's like, babe, I love you, I miss you so much, I need to have you here for Valentine's Day. And I was like, I don't know if I can afford it, I don't know if I can. He's like, I'm gonna fly you.
Did he have money like that?
Yeah, he bought all my tickets anytime that I went to see him. Yeah, that was the good times. Then he moved to New York and shit hit the fan, and then we actually ended up having a really bad breakup. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that. So then he's like, let me fly you in. You'll spend Valentine's weekend with me. And then, we'll go out. We loved brunch. It was our thing. He was like, the day before you leave, we'll go have brunch at our favorite brunch spot. I'll pick you up. We'll have like tons of sex. And then like, we'll do romantic things. And I was like, flies me out. Land. He picks me up in the airport. He's like waiting for me already, like at the baggage claim. He's just like standing there, and then like he like picks me up from like like I run into him and he picks me up, and we're having like a movie moment. He's like rolling me around, and it's so funny because this would be for the people who are watching.
And then you got hate crimed.
No. Noah J. Ricketts, who's a famous actor who's now on Fellow Travelers, who's like doing the press tour. Noah Ricketts, if you guys want to look him up, Noah J. Ricketts.
I'll have to look up.
He's big time now. Big time. I knew him from whenever he was literally just graduating, and he happened to be at the airport at that time, and I was like, "Hey Noah," because he met me while I was doing the tour.
Did you
now
fuck?
he's like hanging out with freaking like Matt Bomer and whatever.
Did you fuck?
No, he's a bottom too.
Air his ass out.
Yeah, well, everyone, whatever. People can tell.
Wow.
And so I get there. We get on his red car, and then I was like, okay. You know what I really want, Dan? I was like, Dan, here's the order of things that I want. Because I got there like pretty late-ish. It was like 8 p.m., 9. So it was like, we couldn't really go out or anything. I was like, Dan, here's what I want to do. I am so hungry because I hadn't eaten all day because bottom. So I knew it was going to get pounded out.
Dick.
I was like, we're going to go back to your place. You're going to pound me out. Then we're gonna go to Wendy's because I really wanted to have Wendy's. I don't know, I was just so hungry. I was like, I just wanna. You'll pound me out. We'll go to Wendy's. Then we'll sleep, and then we'll get ready for all the activities the next day. He was like, "Is this a perfect plan, babe?" We go to this place. We start ravishing each other. Like, it was like the perfect body fit. Like, I'm smaller, he's tall, and like he's just like, we're doing everything in his bed, right? He's like tossing me around. And so, as you know, I like to do yoga poses during bed. Like, I like to get creative and do things. So I was doing this thing where I was like at the bottom, like I was off of the bed. So like, this is the bed frame, and I'm like on the ground with my legs up. I'm actually doing a demonstration for anyone who's watching. So like,
none of them can see you on the floor.
so like I'm doing this.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like that, like that.
Oh, and is he like fucking you like while like kind of squatting?
And so he's like on the bed, like standing by the bed, and like the whole squat situation.
Yeah.
You can picture it.
No, I've seen that in porn before.
Yeah. He's doing that.
Did you poop on him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
That was like another one of these stories.
Listen, that was just I only have 2 stories of that. Okay. Wow. I don't want to be. I'm not. But that's not what I'm known for. Okay.
Well, now you are.
No, that's only happened 0.005% of the times.
She got a dirty hole.
So,
dirty hole.
I'm jealous.
Jealous of you what? Jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants.
Shut up. So we were going at it so hard, and we were sweating. We were so heated. We were having the best sex ever. That in the progression, he was trying to go a little bit too fast, like in the position of change position. That as he was like squatting and trying to go in, he's like going in my hole, and then he pulls out and tries to go back in a little too quickly, and instead of going in, his dick bends.
Did he fracture it?
Literally, I felt his dick miss my hole, and I don't know how, but my ass felt the bend. And he was like, oh, and I saw in his face, like his whole face got red immediately. It was one of those things where I was like, oh my God, what happened? He was like, oh, and like, I had never experienced something like that when like I literally felt someone's dick bend. And I was like, what happened? His dick went immediately soft. And I was like, are you okay? It was fine. Just wait. It was fine. And he was like, oh, and then he kind of like came back from the pain and the shock. And he was like, I don't fucking know what happened. I'm so sorry. Like, I just missed your hole, literally. I missed your hole. He missed my hole, literally and figuratively. Mm-hmm. He was like, I missed your hole.
But I also literally missed it.
And I was like, oh my God. So I got up. And then obviously that killed the vibe, but I was just concerned for him because he went fully soft. And I was like, does it hurt? And he was like, it kind of hurts. So I got him a bag of frozen peas from his fridge. We just lay down. And then at that point, Wendy's had already closed.
So you didn't eat?
And then no, so there was a Chipotle, surprisingly, that was open. I don't know how that happened, but I remember I was like, let me just drive and get us some food because I didn't have any food at home to prepare. So I went and got us some food, came back. We were laying in bed, him with like a bag of frozen peas on his crotch.
Oh my God.
And he was like, I'm so sorry, babe. And then we were watching Netflix, and I was like, it's okay, don't worry. Like it happens. I just hope you're okay. We can just finish tomorrow. He seemed to be okay. Like there wasn't any blood or anything. And so we went to bed. I'm laying there in bed. I wake up to the sound of, oh my God, from him in the bathroom. And I was like, what? What's happening? I wake up. I see him because he slept naked. He comes out of the bathroom and he walks towards me. He's fully naked. And I look at him and I put on my glasses because I need contacts to see. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I seeing? There's something happening down there. I put my glasses. His ball sack was the size of a grapefruit. And I am not exaggerating. Think of the biggest grapefruit you've ever seen at the Trader Joe's. It was that size. And it was like purple. Girl, when I tell you, I was like, what done happened? He was like, fracture? This is bad. He's like, I don't know what's happening. He was like, it doesn't even really hurt, but it's just like all this, what's happening. And I was like, we have to go to the hospital. Thankfully, as part of his like school program, he is Case Western University, which has one of like the top like hospitals. It's kind of like Grey's Anatomy style, which like they're like attached to like a big hospital, and it's like a really well-known hospital in the US. It's actually like a hospital that's a lot of like the whatever, like big procedures.
It's like NYU Langone.
Exactly, actually, no
Okay.
joke. And so, no joke, bitch. And so,
No, but I was great.
but yeah, and so thankfully he like was able, to do something through his school and whatever. So like he was able to get admitted. We go to the emergency, we go there, and it's something very vulnerable because it's your balls. It's not just like, how do you walk in there and then you're like, hey, what's going on? You're like, my balls.
Girl, I've seen so much
I
sex
broke
sent
my
me
dick.
to the ER. Have you seen sex
Girl,
sent me to the ER?
I've seen a couple, yeah.
Oh, girl, I've seen some crazy shit on there. So I am now feel if I were to have anything happen to the downstairs area, I'm like, oh, they've seen worse.
Yeah.
They know.
Well, not at Case Western University fucking hospital.
Oh,
because
God.
let me tell you, they were like, we have to internalize. We have to like, you have to do surgery. So what happened
Because
was,
why?
so as we know, the dick is not a bone, it's a muscle.
Yeah.
So you can't really break your dick.
You can
but
get
you can bend it. And then what ended up happening is that the bend was so that it didn't break any cartilage or like damage any cartilage, thankfully, but because it was so quick, but it did tear a shit ton of like blood vessels that ended up sending blood down to his ball sack. So he had blood coagulating in his balls. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So like from all the rupture of those blood vessels, all of the blood was just going down to his ball sack.
This is my worst nightmare. In middle school, I went down a rabbit hole of like penile fractures,
Oh.
and like I would like look at the like images of it and like read all like the information about it, the Wikipedia page, everything,
Yeah.
and I was like, that is my worst fear.
Yeah.
That is like that shit. First of all, looks scary, and I'm sure
Yeah.
it feels horrible.
Yeah. And it
Oh
was so,
my
it was so
God.
crazy because literally like 12 hours ago we were fucking in his bed, and like now he's getting admitted to the fucking hospital to have surgery
On Valentine's.
on Valentine's Day. And I was only supposed to be there for 2 days. So I ended up having to extend my trip because I wasn't going to leave him there at the hospital alone.
You're like, babe, figure that out on your own. I gotta
Babe,
go. Bye.
yeah. So I ended up studying. So he has to be admitted that day to have surgery later on in the afternoon to get the coagulated blood suction out of his ball sack. And it was so, they had never seen a case like that before at the university
God.
that they asked him if they could have students come see him.
No. That is so embarrassing.
And he said yes for science, sure. So I remember I had to
He's like, yeah, everybody, yeah, look at my balls.
yeah.
Oh my
So,
God.
so I had to step off the room, and then like a doctor came in and brought some students so they could like assess the this unusual thing they hadn't seen happen at that hospital yet. And so he was a case study for like I guess whatever penile fracture or whatnot.
That is crazy.
I know. So he had to be admitted, and he had to stay in the hospital for 2 days after that because he had to recover. He had to get a catheter put in because he wasn't able to like. It was so much, and I was there, and he was in the worst pain. I remember he was crying at nights. He was like, "This is so painful. Like peeing is the worst." And then I'll tell you this. This is a part I've kind of told loosely this story before, but I'm giving you all the detail for all the townspeople.
You guys are so lucky.
You guys are so lucky because I've never told specifically this part before. So, stayed the first night, slept next to him like a good wife.
in the bed? In the hospital bed?
I cuddled with him.
Oh, wait, that's kind of goals.
I know. I was like cuddling with him.
You're like, you're living like your white woman fantasy, like
Of
in a
course.
drama movie with her.
I was the Natalie Portman, Julianne Moore, just being like the good, like girly. It was like, ugh.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
And
he's
well,
like on drugs.
No, but the doctor was just like, please give him his space. Let him. We're gonna give you. They gave me like a side. They brought me in like a twin rolly
The
bed.
doctor walks in and you're like snuggled up next to him. They're
Yes.
like, okay, so yeah, can you just like get out of
Yeah,
this bed,
it
please?
would be like my Oscar-winning moment because the doctors, everyone comes in, sir, get off the bed, and I'm like, no,
He's my lover. He's my lover. You're homophobic.
I will never.
How
You need
dare
me.
How dare you try to separate gay love?
It's not.
Viola Davis style.
Oh, Viola girl. Okay.
No, anytime I would cry in acting class, it was like Viola Davis. Like people would make that a people would take bets.
Oh, they would tell you Viola?
No, they would tell me, they were like, you look like that, because it would just be anytime I cry, it's just Snot City. Like, and I cried a lot in
Yeah.
acting school, and then people would take bets.
Did you cry a lot in general?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
People would take bets to see if I cried that day in class, and if I made it out, they're like, wow, you didn't cry today. That's huge.
Wow,
Anyway.
reputation.
I know. Yeah, my reputation.
So anyway, so the second night, he was like, I can't believe you're spending your time here. Like, I'm so sorry this happened. And I was like, you can't control any of this.
I'm so sorry I broke my
and
balls.
and he was like,
I broke my
yeah,
balls.
he was like, I'm also very horny. And I was like, oh, really, babe? He was like, yeah, like, I just want to, like, I see you and I love your body. Like, I just can't help myself and I can't really get hard. But, like, I feel like I ruined Valentine's for you. And I was like, no, I'm all good. He was like, let me just kiss you. This is the second night. The first
While
night
he's in his hospital bed?
Yeah. Because, everything was done. Now he was just had the catheter on. But, like, his body was still good. He was, but, the first night they gave him some good drugs. The second night he was kind of doing okay. And so then he was like, just come over to me. And he wanted to, like, cuddle. And, like, he wanted to make out. And he was like, I just want to feel you. And I was like, damn, like, you can't get hard. Like, we don't have to do anything. And he was like, no. Like, I really want to finish what we started. And I was like, we can't. And he was like, well, at least let me do something for you. And I was like, what? And he was like, let me suck your dick. And I was like, you don't have to. And I was like, please don't. He was like, no, please. And he was actually being like, just do it for me. Like, I just wanna suck your dick. And I was like,
in the hospital room?
Okay, in the hospital. So here I am.
Shut the fuck up.
Here I am. My then boyfriend has just broken his dick.
Broken his balls.
Broken the balls. And he's trying.
He was just a case study for a bunch of medical students.
Yeah, and he's trying
with his
to suck my dick.
Yeah.
What does a girl do?
She pulls her dick out.
I pull my dick out for my man. I let him blow me in the hospital room.
You're kidding. Does the nurse walk in?
And he wanted me to come.
In his mouth? Did you? Oh my god. Love is real. It exists. See? Might not happen to people like me, but it happens to Peru.
And the entire time we were just like, what if somebody walks in? And he was like, just come in my mouth. And I was like, okay. That is...
And no one walked in.
The first and last time I ever came inside someone's mouth.
Really?
Never. Because again, I've told famously to the townspeople, like I jerk out myself off, whatever. But it's never like the main attraction. And like at this point, I was like, this is the main attraction. Like he's laying in his fucking deathbed with his balls broken, and he was like, I just want some sex or whatever. And so like, and he was like, I loved that. He was like that. He was like, that was so good. Like I really needed that. And I was like, okay, because it was work for me too. Like it wasn't like
were you like standing? Good, wait, so where were you standing?
So you're laying on the bed, and I was like literally standing by him.
Oh my god! See,
yeah.
I was thinking that, but it would have been so much funnier if you like got on top of him and we're like kind of like straddling.
Oh, like
and then like you're like kneeling on him, and he's like sucking it from.
Yeah.
And no one walked in. No one walked in.
It was.
Was it quick?
It was God.
Was it quick?
It must have been like what, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to put on a show either. Like I wasn't trying to. Yeah. So that's that story. And then so he had a catheter for a couple of days, which was the most painful part for him. I had to like help him walk to the restroom. Like I had to help him get up, use the potty, and like to pee. I had to help him. He was actually in real pain.
Well, you must have really loved him.
Oh,
doing all of that.
We were head over heels in love. And then like he got better. I came back another time after that, and like he like arranged this like scavenger hunt situation to make up for Valentine's Day. Like bought me a gift. He was like, I felt bad for it was actually a really lovely relationship while it was good until it went bad. And then that's the one that I've talked about before. Like we had some really really rocky times, and like even up until like a year ago or so, like I know he got married, and like he was still sending me videos and asking me, like we've always had
got married to a man.
Yeah, you always kind of have that kind of like relationship with like your very first like real serious adult love, and like I felt like we always hung on to that for like years after that.
Can't relate.
Even through relationship.
No, we'll get there.
Of course, but I mean, it was a very interesting relationship, and like, I mean, I wish him well. I haven't heard from him in a few months, which I think is good, because he told me they were open, and I was like, sure, but before that, when they were dating, I know that
still in the city?
Think no,
Cleveland,
he's in Ohio.
Oh, I'm back to Cleveland.
Yeah. So listen, we all do crazy things for love.
Speaking of, I've been listening to the Chorus Line cast album.
God.
What I did for love. Yeah, it's been.
I've never seen the Chorus Line.
Oh my god, it's one of my favorite musicals. I've literally been listening to that the 2006 revival cast
musical,
recording.
It's Mean Girls. Just kidding. I don't know a single song from that movie.
Girl,
But it was fun.
Neither do I. Mean, I don't know. I didn't listen. I haven't seen the movie, and I haven't seen the musical.
I liked it. It was good. It was just a fun watch. It was fun.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
It was fun, you know. Good production, good performance. It's fun.
Happy for Tina Fey.
Of course, you know, a woman in this industry doing that kind of thing, like creating like a brand like that, like fucking yeah, do a fucking movie. I don't
No,
care.
and I like Renee Rapp. I think she's very funny, and I think she's
And
very
chaotic on press.
and charismatic, and I think like she's a very likable individual.
yeah,
so.
she's our Gen Z, like, you know, chaotic girly.
Sure, she's like she kind of reminds me a little bit of like Jennifer Lawrence when she was doing like press for like Hunger Games.
Oh no, when she was doing press even before that, she was always kind of like uninhibited and like very real.
yeah,
you know?
but specifically during like the Hunger Games when she got that like pixie cut that made her look like she was in her late 30s, even though she was 22. Like she was like that era of her, she was very unhinged, you know, and
Yeah.
people loved her, but then immediately kind of like dropped her after, and then were like turned on her.
Yeah, but then
That's
she's back.
Now she's back, but that's the cycle it is with women in celebrity. It's like everybody loves you one moment, and then everyone hates you, and then they love you again, which is a cycle that we should probably not continue. Just like
I'm used to that. I like, you know, like I just love to be hated.
no, my cycle is everybody loves me, and then I disappear for a long time, and
No,
then I
your
come back.
Your cycle is everyone loves you because they don't know the real you, and then yeah, exactly.
What do you mean? This is the real me.
I don't know. I would beg to differ.
This is the real me.
Wow, what an episode.
No, how long have we been going? Oh,
Well,
actually, not
an
as long
hour.
as the other one.
Not as long as the other one, so but actually kind of good.
We were good.
But that was that. And then I guess the only other thing that was going to connect to like what I was going to tell you is that
Well, weren't you gonna say that you were a little bit concerned about the person who's fucking you in this building?
yeah, because
Why?
okay, so like real tea, and actually I don't even know if it's safe for me to say because I don't know if they actually listen to the podcast. So
Have they mentioned the
really
podcast?
abbreviated? No.
Okay.
Really abbreviated version of the story because it could be very long. I was at one point starting to hang out / just fuck this one specific guy like around May of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at a point in time when I was just like doing my shows. I was kind of like really tired, like it was happening, and he was just there, and he seemed to be really interested in me, and like we went on a hangout date kind of, and like we had sex, and then I was like, okay, so he's nice. He was very adamant about hanging out with me, and I really wasn't that much into him, but I had a really, I guess I can talk about this now, but do you recall like that one Sunday I told you that like that big studio executive like approached me at the bar?
Yes.
So I was approached by a studio. But anyway, that day I was hanging out with him earlier in the day because I didn't really want to do anything, but he was like, please, let's hang out. I really want to see you. And so it's one of those things where like someone's showing interest in you, and even though you're not that into them, you're just like in a bad place or like in a weird place where you're just like, I'll just take the attention from this person I don't really care about. And so maybe I'll let him on, but then I quickly put the brakes on that after that. The second night that we slept together, I was like, listen, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. And he was obsessed with me, like movie style obsessed. He was sending
Beyonce,
me texts.
Ali Larter,
Beyonce,
Idris
Elba
Elba
comes back
obsessed.
on the fucking pod. He was texting me at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, would DM me on Instagram. Like, it was like, it got to the point where I had to block him. And I was like, dude,
Wow.
let me just tell you, like, at one point I was like, listen, I didn't have anything to do with you. I do not want to pursue anything with you or a relationship. I am not ready. You are lovely. You are great. Because he kept asking me, what did I do wrong? What am I doing wrong? I just think you're great. And it was like chaotic messages.
Wait, you have to show me pictures.
I will. And I'll show you the messages. I think I might have deleted it, but if I have them, I will. Because they're it was bad.
And you fucked him the other day?
No, I didn't fuck him.
Oh.
What ended up happening was that a few months ago, guess who moves into this building?
Him.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, and he hits me up on Grindr, which I had blocked him from.
Love when they do that.
Hits me up being like, I guess we're neighbors now. And I was like, what? And I was like, LOL, cool. But he was still tapping me and being like, hey, what are you doing? Like trying to start shit up again. And I was like, we haven't spoken in months. Like, I'm not interested. So I blocked him again. And I didn't respond to any of his messages. And so like every now and then I see him, and I'm not a mean person. Like I say hi to him. But then now when I see him, one time I was walking out with Clover and I saw him walking my direction and he turned around.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, he's just like,
So then who did you fuck? I'm confused. Then why are you nervous about this person that you fucked the other day?
because I realized
Is his roommate?
it's his roommate.
Messy bitch.
Girl, when I found out a few days ago, and I was like, wait, is your roommate named? He was like, yeah, we moved in together. And I was like, oh. Girl, I don't know what's happening.
The sex was good though with the roommate?
If I get white, single, femaled, please know it was that guy.
Well, you know that his roommate told him. You know.
I don't know, because I was just like, wait,
Are they friends?
Well, they live together.
Well, yeah, but is it like a situation where they like...
Well, they moved in together, so yes, they're friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he obviously said something.
Which was really weird, because I'm like, wait, you lived in Bushwick, and now suddenly you live in my building?
Well, when you fucked in Bushwick, did you fuck... Or
No, we fucked here.
That is kind of crazy.
So
He saw the space available. He's like, oh my god.
I guess so. But I mean, listen, have I seen him around? Yes, a few times, and he's acted awkward, but I've always been polite. And I'm like, hey, hey, what's up? He's like, hi, just very like whatever. So, you know what? Like, we'll see how this goes. If I'm not here for the recording next Monday, just look for me.
No, and celebrate that Nick is going to be in charge of the podcast from now, and it'll be, girl, it'll be such a better version.
And you know what's also so crazy about this?
What?
Is that while he was entering, it really was like the movie Obsessed, because you know what? I'm not gonna say who it is, because again, for safety reasons, I guess. But guess who he lived with before? Him.
He lived with the...
With the person that I just mentioned.
That was obsessed with you?
Yeah, the person that was obsessed with me lived with the one I just told you. They were ex-roommates as well.
Were they roommates when you fucked originally, or were they ex-roommates when you
They were
fucked?
ex-roommates, but then there was already that like link.
What a small world.
Because when I was already done with the stalker,
Uh-huh.
I was finished, and I was like, I cannot. You're too much. You're obsessed. It's just getting crazy. It was
This city...
it was our mutual friend's birthday, and I went to Pieces, and he was there. And then I was like, hey. And then he was like, oh, whatever, like trying to mac out with me. Oh my God, and I forgot about this. We went to Playhouse right after on the mentioned mutual friend's birthday.
Which is when? When is his birthday?
Is May. They're all, it's May Bonanza.
Gemini? He's a
They're all-
Gemini?
I don't know the signs, but they're all May. And so...
It's either Taurus or Gemini.
Okay, and it's great. And so we went to Playhouse, and this other guy who is so hot, he's a personal trainer, he's so good, so sexy, and so funny. Like, I love him. Actually, I might text it this weekend because I want to fuck him again.
Okay.
Well, last time we fucked, it was at the Metropolitan bathroom.
Oh my god.
But he's just amazing. He's great. He supported my shows. Great person. In an open marriage, but whatever.
Girl,
I'll take it.
I'm so tired of fucking bitches in
But
relationships.
just for fun, like I just like having somebody who's just like sexy, fun, intelligent, and like knows to be an adult. And
Sure.
like,
I think I'm just like in a place in my life now where it's just like, I want to be in love so bad. I'm like, I'm
well,
tired
me
of
too,
fucking...
and now listen, we're literally looking at the snowfall, and like me too. But anyway, so at Playhouse, Miss Stalker wanted to get into a physical and verbal altercation with the guy that I brought, who came to meet me at Playhouse. We did fuck in the bathroom at Playhouse, but
In the stall?
I brought
Okay.
But
Because the bathroom situation there is kind of like... Ugh.
But they're all like private stalls, and I remember the guy who's like
They're not all
monitoring
privates. Like, they're
all private. It's like 5 private, and then the two standing.
Wait. They're,
urinals.
they're all stalls, but it's like... It's not like floor to ceiling. Like you just walk in, it's a room, and it's like
No, of
closed.
course
It's like
not, yeah.
it's like a standard,
But I
just a
don't care.
stall.
Yeah, I mean, there's a person monitoring who goes in and who out, but that person was busy just like dealing with some drunk people. So I was like, come here, and then we went to the furthest back stall.
Playhouse.
And then we
I don't
just-
know. I've always had weird experiences there.
I mean, it's a playhouse. It's a playhouse.
The bitches that go there, I don't know. They're really judgmental, and like
It's like the Hell's Kitchen of the West Village.
no,
Playhouse.
100%. Every
Yeah.
time I've gone, I've always gotten side-eyed by
Which
some faggot.
I'm going to Miss West Village for a drag race tonight, so we'll see what the stories. But anyway, long story short, he was mad just out of nowhere. He was cuckoo.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and then our mutual friend was like, "I'm sorry about that," and I was like, "Listen, like, It's whatever. But I mean, yeah. So that's actually a real true tea, and like I was gagged and gooped when I found out that the guy who like just fucked me a few days ago is his roommate. So I was like, great, this person's just
The city
in
is
my
so
life.
small. The city is so small. Excuse me. Sorry.
Wow.
Hiccups.
Anyway, I guess we should start wrapping up.
Do you have a pioneer trailblazer for the week?
Oh my god, a pioneer. What is my pioneer? Do you have a trailblazer?
I would say my trailblazer for the week is gonna be Finasteride. Love her down. That and also was there anything else this week that I was like I've just been really feeling myself. I've just like ever since I've been popping, like I said, ever since I've been popping that Finasteride, I'm the most beautiful bitch to ever live and walk the earth. Like I'm the one, no one can tell me anything. Like I go to the gym and I'm like, I'm gorgeous, everyone is checking me out. Like my hair is no longer gonna fall out of my head. Like it's actually like so
Looks so good.
yeah, no, it's cute. We've been having some
Bouncy,
we've been having some
ball.
cute hair moments. Like yeah, no, I've been getting so many compliments recently.
Where are the clips today?
I didn't put any in today.
Mm.
I didn't feel like it was a clip day. Because the look is kind of just like more casual.
Yeah, the look's not a clip look.
No, but like I will wear clips. Maybe I'll wear clips tonight because I'm gonna take a shower before I go, and I'm gonna do my hair before I go out. Because I'm gonna I douched before I got here, which I didn't need to. I just I had a bunch of free time, and I was like, well,
you never know.
I didn't have enough time to go to the gym, so I was like, what am I gonna do instead? I was like, I guess we're gonna
Well,
douche.
you famously were gonna go after this, but not anymore, I guess.
No, because it's like too late, and by the time it's gonna take me an hour to get home, and then it'll be 5 o'clock, and then what? I'm gonna go to the gym for 2 hours and then have to walk all the way home, and then I have to shower, and the party starts at 8. So it's just
Yeah.
I rolled a joint that I'm gonna smoke before I leave.
Girl, I have a feeling you and I are gonna be doing our famously famous text. Girl.
Tonight?
I have a feeling it's gonna be a girl night.
Well, my whole is it is clear. It is clear. So
or
we
just of anything.
Well, no,
You're
yeah,
gonna
for
be
sure.
like, girl, I fell down the stairs again.
No, and that is the thing. Me falling down the stairs, that's such a drunk Nick activity, which I don't ever I don't drink that often. I feel like I've said that before, but I used to drink a lot. I mean, in college, obviously, because everyone was throwing parties every weekend, and when I would go to parties and stuff. But that would be my go-to thing whenever I'd be browned out or close to blackout.
Mhm.
Falling down the stairs is my go-to move, unfortunately. But I haven't done that since college. So the fact that I did it sober today, I was crazy. Because I
Foreshadowing.
I will never forget. I would never forget. It was my sophomore year of college, and this girl in my program, she's from New Rochelle, which is in the suburbs. And so we would do this thing. We did our freshman year, and we also did it our sophomore year, where the whole group, we went to her parents' house who were gone for the weekend. She hosted a huge rager at her parents' house, and it was so incredible. It was so much fun. Those 2 nights, I'll never forget them. Core memory. But both of those years, I got so fucking drunk that I fell down the stairs at her house. And as soon as it happened, they're like, "Was that Nick?" And I'd be "I'm good, everybody. I'm okay." But then my ass would have huge bruises on it the next day, obviously. But that is a drunk Nick move, is to fall down the stairs. So the fact that I'm doing it sober, concerning. What's going on with me?
I guess my pioneer is my resilient body, if that's the case.
Oh, sure.
Last time I fell was on Pride. It was a day, because Pride has the full month, every weekend is an activity. We were hanging out a lot during Pride. We didn't hang out Sunday of the Pride parade
No, because I had to work.
because you had to work. Famously, you didn't take off like a true queer person, but whatever.
Well, because I always forget to take off, because I never know when the
Girl,
parade
I
is
already
gonna-
submitted that time off now.
No, but I always forget when the parade's gonna be, and then
It's always the fucking third Sunday.
But then it's too whatever. I'll do
See,
it
no
this year.
excuses.
I'll do it this year.
But anyway, the day before, I got home pretty drunk, but I was fine, and I was literally walking up the stairs, the marble stairs here on the side, the side stairs here.
Yeah.
I was walking up
Did
those.
you fall down them?
I didn't fall down them. I fell up it. I slipped and I fucking fell on it, and then I fucking
Did you hurt? Oh my god, because those are marble.
I
That is
know.
hard.
I hurt my lip and I had a little injury here, and I was able to cover it with makeup for that Sunday, but it was busted, and I had to put ice on it so it lose the swell so it could go out.
Oh my god.
I know that was the last time I fell.
So it's your pioneer.
That my body.
Oh, your body. Right.
my resilient body during this winter months. My body is bodying and it's producing heat.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Oh my God, I didn't have heat in my
That is
building.
good.
I didn't have my heat in my building on Wednesday, I think it was.
You told me.
Yeah, there was no. I woke up. No. I woke up Wednesday, and my apartment was 50 degrees, and I was like, oh my God. And our landlord was like, the previous night she had called the plumber because we're like, oh, I don't think the heater's working, and she was like, oh, I called the plumber. I heard something happened, like something with the boiler. It was making a noise or whatever. And then that night she was like, the plumber didn't finish. He's gonna come back tomorrow. And I was like, I'm sorry. What do you mean he didn't finish? Is he like on a 9 to 5 where as soon as it's 5 o'clock he's like, I'm out. I gotta go home. Like what? We're just gonna be without heat? I was like, what's happening? And then that morning when I went to bed, I had to like bundle myself up in blankets and stuff. And then I woke up that next morning and I was like, I'm so cold. But then I went to the gym and I came back and the heat was on. So I was like, thank God. But
Thank God. God. You know, God.
she's good. She's
Good.
good.
She's been kind of giving us some, like, you know, good stories, good times.
Good stories, good times. Yeah, and I'm sure next week we will have more to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously.
In the meantime, please make sure. Honestly, let's be clear. I'm like Kamala
Let me
Harris
be.
now.
Let me be queer.
Let me be clear.
Queer.
Let me be queer. We really, I think our goal for the foreseeable few months, if the world doesn't end,
Why would it?
we're about like 100 or so off from reaching 1,000 subscribers on Spotify, and I feel like I really want to get to that place, because once we get there, we'll do something special. Like, we want to like do a special episode, do like a video. Like, we really want to just hit the ground running, get the first quarter of this year, get us to 1,000 subscribers. The only way to help with that is just like share the podcast, share it with your friends, review it, post a clip from it. I feel like a lot of people who are like DMing us are like, oh my God, like it's like I'm like hanging out with my friends and whatever. So share it with your queer friends. Get them to subscribe. Get them to give us a listen. People are like slowly but surely finding it. And honestly,
Sure, and subscribe on YouTube, like and comment on the YouTube. That also helps. We've been gaining a lot more subscribers on YouTube, and we've been gaining a lot more views recently, which is great. We love.
yeah, some of those few videos like are just spiking randomly, which I love. It means like either it's being like
promoted and pushed.
just pushed through some other like queer stuff, but ultimately like the more listens this gets, you know, the more it'll take off. And like we can
Sure.
we're working on some stuff and trying to get better equipment,
Better production value.
but we really can't. I know some of y'all love to comment being like, please can you speak further away from a mic, can you please not yell, can you please, and like to that we say like
It's mostly her.
it's mostly me, one, and two, we will get a better setup if we can
Afford it.
get the resources for that. And the only way to do that is just if you guys keep sharing it. And I know you guys are so good at it, so keep doing it. Thank you so much. Pioneers and Trailblazers on Insta and Pioneers and Trailblazers on
TikTok. TikTok.
On the TikTok.
And on YouTube, you can follow me on nicholas.rose on Instagram, TikTok clownfacebinch, or Twitter /X clownfacebitch. And you can follow Miss Peru at HeyPeru on all socials.
Yeah. And just remember, a lot of these like algorithm-y things are like, oh, like once you reach 1,000, you get this, you get that. So like us just trying to get to that number is not us being like narcissist, which we are, but it's also like
Speak for yourself.
whatever. But like, you know, reaching 1,000 subs on YouTube and 1,000 on Spotify like will actually unlock a lot of other things for us. So just help us out, and in the meantime, stay warm. And if you live in like a warm climate place,
Fuck you. But love, much love.
much love and gratitude. And with that,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
bye. Let's go get fucked up.
No, literally, bitch.